In the past decade, we've seen an increased interest in dinosaurs, mainly thanks to films like Jurassic World. The Stegosaurus dinosaur, the topic of today's talk, was not one of the largest dinosaurs roaming the Earth around 150 million years ago, but it was certainly one of the most unusual-looking ones. Their most recognisable feature was the line of bony plates sticking up along its back. We're still not sure what the exact function of these plates was, but the current thinking suggests they were used as temperature control, rather than for protection or even defence. The plates may have looked threatening to other creatures, but they would break under too much pressure as they were made of relatively soft, bony material. Another feature of the Stegosaurus was the spikes at the end of its tail. The number of these differed from one type of Stegosaurus to another. The length of the spikes changed with age, but from the remains found they were on average between 60 and 90 centimetres long. The Stegosaurus wasn't the brightest creature. Its brain was very tiny and could be compared to the size of a walnut, unlike the average human brain, which is similar in size to a small melon. The Stegosaurus was quite widespread, living in what is now known as South Africa, Western Europe, and in some parts of Asia, which can be seen from the discoveries of its bones in these locations. However, not as many have been found in any of these places as in North America, where the first ever discovery of Stegosaurus remains was also made in 1876. A relatively complete skeleton wasn't found for over a century, until 1992 in fact. But that discovery was beaten when a virtually entire one was dug up in 2003, and it has been on display in the Natural History Museum in London since 2014. This exhibit was given the name Sophie. When it comes to naming new dinosaur exhibits, some museums ask the public to think of a name, for example, based on a friend or favourite cartoon character. The latest dinosaur edition at the Natural History Museum, however, was named after the daughter of a banker. The banker had helped the museum to purchase the skeleton by donating a generous amount of money. When Sophie's bones arrived at the museum, everyone was very excited, because she was the first Stegosaurus the museum had obtained. Before she was put on permanent public display, the scientists at the museum took photos of each bone to construct a very accurate 3D digital model of the entire skeleton. All this data will assist them in finding out things like Sophie's weight and how fast she could walk. The next stage for the museum team was to put the real skeleton together. Sophie can now be admired in the Earth Hall of the museum. You'd never guess her delicate skull had been replaced by a copy and stored safely away. She's positioned on a small stage just inside the entrance with her tail up, body lowered, and open jaws pointing at arriving visitors.